YouTube, I'm Sarah and today I'm doing my June wrap-up. The first book in June that I finished was an audiobook by Maggie Stiefvater called The Raven Boys. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The second book I finished was an ebook I received for free from netgalley.com called Sheringham: The Last Puzzle. I would definitely recommend this book. It's about an older gentleman who worked for the New York Times creating their crossword puzzles, and he is murdered. In his will, he has a unique way of locating the perpetrator of his own murder. He gives them a crossword puzzle. And I thought that the story was definitely well thought out and quite creative. It was not something I would expect, so I would definitely recommend that you go check out Sheringham: The Last Puzzle by Matthew Costello. The third book I finished for the month of June is Talon by Julie Kagawa. This book I did not really enjoy much. I thought it was creative, and so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, but not necessarily something I would recommend. The next book that I finished was A Court of Thorns and Roses, and if you like, I will put in the description below. I did do a book review on BookTube. I would definitely recommend that you go at least give this book a try. I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was creative and I could relate to the characters. I would definitely recommend that you try this book. The next book that I finished was another audiobook by Stephen King. It was, I think, my first Stephen King that I've read / listened to, and that is The Eyes of the Dragon. This book I did not enjoy. I only gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I felt like it just dragged in the introduction to the story, like getting everything in its place, figuring out who the characters were and everything took most of the story, and so I felt like it just suddenly to the end. So not something I would recommend. The next book that I finished was another ebook that I got from netgalley.com for review, and that was The President's Shadow by Brad Meltzer. This book, Brad Meltzer has a series on the History Channel, which is actually how I heard about him. He's one of those authors that I was kind of thinking about trying, but wasn't really sure because history is not my thing, but at the same time I kept hearing people loved him, even some friends that, like me, history not their thing. So I decided to request this and was chosen to receive one of the copies, and I very much enjoyed the book. Very glad that I gave him a try. Would definitely recommend this book. Lots of twists and turns and unexpected events. So it's almost like a mystery, thriller, action-packed kind of story. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The second to final book that I finished in the month of June was Wicked Charms by Janet Evanovich. I received this from netgalley.com for review. This is the third book in the Lizzie and Diesel series by Janet Evanovich, and it follows Lizzie and Diesel. And Diesel you might recognize if you've read her Stephanie Plum series. He got his own spin-off. The series follows him and Lizzie as they try and collect all the Saligia stones, and these are stones magicked in some way off of the 7 deadly sins. So check them out. The final book that I finished was actually my first manga, and that was Fairy Tail Volume 2 by somebody I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce their name, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Hiro Mashima. I hope I said that right. This was my first manga, like I said, that I tried, and so it was kind of weird reading essentially backwards, but I did figure it out, mostly I think, and look forward to trying another manga, possibly continuing Fairy Tail. But so those were all the books I read for the month of June. So I read a total of 8 books for the month of June, which is a new personal record for me. So I'm very proud of myself. And for the month of July, I'm challenging myself to 10, because I'm staring at my Goodreads page and it shows 190 books read, and I would so like to see that hit 200. So we're gonna see if we can do that here in the month of July. So that's all for this video, and I will see you next time. TTFN!